Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GAC Group 2014 ITTF World Tour Grand Finals in Bangkok, Thailand. I'm Adam Bobrow, and we are about to get into the women's singles semifinals. Feng Tianwei, the #1 seed in this tournament, world ranked number 4, 28 years old, took victory in her first round 4-1 over hometown favorite Nanthana Komwong, and it was an incredible match. Nanthana bringing out some excellent shots to please the crowd. Hyowon, 27-year-old, world ranked number 12, is the 9th seed in this tournament. The chopper with an aggressive forehand won 4-2 over Liu Jia. An impressive play against the Austrian. This face-off should be a thrill. Feng Tianwei, at 28 years old, one more year of experience in life than Seo, but definitely lots of years experience against choppers. I'm excited for this best-of-7 match. Both of these players are fighting in hopes of taking home $100,000. $1 million in prize money given away at this tournament.
Representing Singapore, Feng Tianwei.
And Feng Tianwei, been in the world top 5 for a long time. Seo Hyowon, one of the top choppers in the world. Currently ranked number 12. Feng Tianwei has actually won this tournament before. She won it 4 years ago in 2010, same year that Singapore beat China in the World Team Championships.
An umpire for the match from Thailand, Chusakun Varayanon. Assistant umpire from Japan, Yamanaka Yoshiko.
And there we have our Thai head umpire and Japanese assistant umpire. Umpires flying in from all around the world. This is something they love to do. They volunteer their time to come out here and umpire. But it's a great opportunity for them to sit right up close and see the best players in the world battle it out for the biggest prize money there is. The biggest prize money this planet knows for such play. Feng Tianwei in top shape, even at 28 years old, arguably at the height of her career. Been playing a steady game in the top 4.
Ladies and gentlemen,
4-1 victory over the hometown favorite yesterday. You can see the bracket on screen right now. Those are the 8 women left in the quarterfinals of the singles. Strong presence from the Japanese players. There are 3 Japanese players left in this tournament. 3 out of 8. It is the strongest representation. And actually, later in the day, Ai Fukuhara and Kasumi Ishikawa will be battling, eliminating one of the Japanese players for sure. That'll be an exciting rematch after their deuce in the 7th match earlier in the year on the World Tour. So whoever loses this match is going to be getting $15,000. Not a bad losing prize for that, winning 1 match. But to qualify here, again, invitation only, had to play at least 5 World Tour Pro Tour tournaments. And that's what this is all about. So not only are these players some of the top players in the world, but they're also the most active on the World Tour. In case you at home are wondering why you're not seeing any Chinese players in this tournament, this is the 2nd time in recent history that no Chinese players have qualified for the World Tour Grand Final. Even though Fan Zhendong and Xu Xin, for example, were the winners of 2 World Tour tournaments, they still didn't participate enough throughout the year to meet the qualifications. And you can see right there Seo practicing her high toss serve, sort of doing the phantom motion. A lot of the time a chopper who will have long pips on the backhand will turn the racket around allowing the opponent a proper backhand warm-up, but not giving them a chance to play against the pips. Sort of get into the rhythm, keep that as a surprise. At this level, all these players have experience playing against choppers. At least one resident home country chopper for practice partners. This will be a best-of-7 singles match. Feng Tianwei of Singapore starting off the match with the serve.
Left off. Left one.
High spinny ball sails long. Points will be longer than average throughout this match. That one happened to be shorter than average. Feng Tianwei settling in. Recovering the ball from just near the ground. Almost tough to tell if it bounced or not, but just missing the back edge of the table. Bit of fortune for Feng Tianwei. And the strong attacks from the forehand of Hyowon. She's been known to have a very aggressive forehand. The best choppers in the world do. Very difficult shot to take with the long pips right there off the bounce. Excellent anticipation from Feng Tianwei, breaking out wide to the forehand to recover the shot. And the pressure to keep the ball deep on the table when you're hitting with topspin. Sometimes people are going to overshoot the back line. Big point, heavy chop after heavy chop, and the touch shot by Feng left too long. And the variation of spin from Seo, just outstanding. Beautiful shot right into the body. A lot of choppers at the highest levels will have kicking serves, often from the backhand side. Good crowd participation here. Ball sailing just long off the pips. Clever serve, Feng Tianwei short to the forehand. The inside out serve with a little bit of underspin. Oh, and a break off the top of the net. What a point. Anticipation in the crowd, everyone holding their breath for a good 45 seconds or so on that point. And everything was coming back. Seo with that forehand topspin. Unfortunate way for Feng to lose the point, but the crowd loves it. Heavy underspin. Really fascinating the way Seo changes her stroke against topspin. Sometimes she comes under the ball more, sometimes down it like a wall. Ball left a little too high near the net as Feng Tianwei hits it right into the body, and it's tied up at 6 points each. Let's run on the sleeve. Seo Hyowon, Korean national hero. I think started that brand, if I'm not mistaken. Training and sponsoring the athletes, keeping them in good shape. A little bit of spin variation from Feng Tianwei. If this is a dance, commonly the chopper is leading the dance as far as spin variation goes. This time Feng switched it up a bit. Innovative play, very important. Very ambitious forehand as the ball dropped low from a good few feet behind the table. She's capable. See how much acceleration she gets into that ball. When a chopper hits the ball, they're not trying to start a rally, they're trying to finish the point, so you know there's a lot of power on it. And I guess you might say that anyone's not really trying to start a rally, they're trying to finish the point anyway, but still, chopper, when they pull out the attack, it's a special occasion. Tied up at 8 each. These are the types of scores. Some of the longer rallies can lead to the expedite rule. Pretty rare to see with an attacker versus a chopper, but it's happened recently at the China Open. Oh, huge forehand down the backhand side of the table. Seo unleashed the Kraken on that one, just blasted it past Feng Tianwei. What patient play when the opportunity arises, bam, gone. And still focused as ever in the zone. She has a 1-point lead, but Feng Tianwei serving 8-9. Just long on this one. It may be tough to notice at home, but Feng Tianwei notices very well spin variation from Seo. Some of those shots are heavy, some are loaded, some are light. The forehand, she varies it up a bit, forcing Feng Tianwei to watch every ball carefully. And at the same time, with the threat of that forehand attack, makes it very difficult for Feng to ever let up or push the ball back. Seo had a good look at that forehand. Now instead of it being her game point, Feng Tianwei has it. Most emotion we've seen from the Zen chopper. And gets it outright with the serve. After 9-9, there will be no expedite rule anyway, no matter how long the game is, once 18 points have been played. So we are at deuce, and Feng Tianwei has the serve. Excellent placement, Feng Tianwei hitting it into the body, right, the elbow rather. And you could see Seo was a little bit late to get around to use the backhand on that. Now she's battling another game point. Huge forehand down the line. The pressure has been on, and she has shown that she can handle it. Does not crumble. Deuced back up. Look at that forehand. Excellent extension. Arm is not tight, nice and loose. And the break goes to Seo for her first game point this game after battling off two from Feng Tianwei. When she was down 9-10, she had the backhand serve that won her the point outright. Look how low that ball is as it creeps over the net. And she does it. The heavy forehand chops deep on the table from Seo. And she has taken game one, 13-11 over Feng Tianwei, the top seed in this tournament. Game two back just after this. And as we come back to the table for game two, Feng Tianwei trailing 0-1 against Seo Hyowon. They've played twice before, and in their head-to-head, they've split evenly, 1-1. Both matches relatively recently. Feng Tianwei won the last time they met up in Japan at the World Championships 2014, and 1 year earlier was Seo. And a point with two of those forehand attacks that we love to see. Seo strong out the gates. She used her forehand from both corners of the table, running around like an all-out attacker. Heavy underspin serve fools Feng Tianwei. And once again, if you know you have an attack you might have to face, your receive is super important against those serves. Little extra pressure for Feng, down 0-2. And what a recovery off the top of the net, jumping Seo deep on the table, and Feng Tianwei overshooting the shot. Look at that ball from just above her right knee. Had to hold up as the ball clipped the net and changed its pace. Clipped the edge of the table. Beautiful cover, topspin from the forehand side. Bit of fortune for Seo. And this time the fortune comes back for Feng. That serve is so tough to read. That high toss. The ball was popped up high for the forehand attack. Feng Tianwei able to get it back. And there it is, another kicking topspin serve. The high toss sometimes makes it a little tougher for people to read. Ball gets a little more spin as it's falling faster into the rubber. Pretty straightforward serve from Feng Tianwei. Dead long to the forehand side, trying to follow it. It's a 6-1 lead for Seo. And somebody is looking very uncomfortable right now. I'll give you a hint, it's Feng Tianwei. That ball is high and deep on the table. Just miscontacted. We've seen Feng Tianwei start uncomfortable and then turn things around though. That floating forehand with a little bit of side spin on it just misses the back line of the table. And Seo with that forehand attack again. You know, we've seen Feng Tianwei come back. But the Japan Open was down 7-1 and scored 10 points in a row. So this is not out of reach for her. Far away, but not out of reach. Beautiful shot right a little more to the middle of the table this time. And enough pace on it to jam up Seo. That's the one. Had to turn her body to get it out of the way. No way. Right into the body. Looked like a figure skater move out there on one foot, just hitting it back with some topspin right from the middle and getting right back in the point. It's the beauty of defense. When you're that far from the table, you have a little bit more time to set up your shot. Granted, you have more ground to cover, so I guess it balances out a bit. Classic, beautiful backhand chop, and it is 7 game points for Seo Hyowon. Beautiful shot pushed out wide to the forehand side, and it's a convincing win for Seo to go up 2-0 over Feng Tianwei of Singapore. And after a deuce game 1 of 13-11, it was an 11-3 win for Seo Hyowon over Feng Tianwei. So right now things are looking very good for the Korean chopper. That trailing forehand ball like a comet that bends out wide to the forehand. Feng Tianwei to start us off in game 3 with the serve.
1-love.
Quick and straight to the point, no pun intended. Feng Tianwei up 1-0. Break off the top of the net. Ball stays really low for Seo. Well, this can't be something that the coach ordered, the top of the net, but so far it's been at least 2 of the first 3 points for Feng Tianwei. Part of the game. Excellent placement. Feng Tianwei sees Seo making her break to the backhand corner, stepping around for that possible forehand attack, and then hits it out wide to the forehand side. Seo just on her last footing there, reaching out just to try and keep it in play. And Seo is on the board. Little fun fact, Seo is not related to Seo Han-duk, who you saw play earlier for the Korean men's doubles team. But she is related to the sister of hers that's sitting here watching in Thailand. Great place to come visit. Lovely stadium, even lovelier city here in Bangkok.
1-5.
Big thanks to Matt Solt in New Zealand, helping us out. A wealth of knowledge, avid fan of the sport, a super cool guy. Seo trailing 1 point to 5 in game 3. Beautiful shot, inside out forehand into the backhand side. And it's interesting, we're seeing a lot more racket speed from Feng Tianwei. A little bit more loose play. It seems like she's getting more comfortable reading the spin than she has been the first 2 games. That serve, practically illegible. Feng Tianwei can't read it. Seo takes both of her serves. It's now a 2-point game. And the soft push from the inverted rubber. Not much on it. Feng Tianwei overlifts, and it's a 1-point game. Huge forehand, steps in and crushes it out wide. Feng Tianwei can't even reach that ball. And just in a moment's decision, she could have been chopping that. It wasn't until after Feng Tianwei hit the ball and as it was passing the net that Seo made her turn. The element of surprise. And again, that serve looked like it could have been topspin. Clearly wasn't. Timeout has been called. Singaporean coach talking to Feng Tianwei. Things have changed quite a bit from up 5-1 to now 6-6. Sorry, appears to be 5-6. That's 5 in a row for the Korean chopper. The focus on the face of Seo, the sweat wipe. You can see, appears to be short pips on the backhand with sponge. A very tricky task for Feng Tianwei if she can't keep the ball on the table, pushing it back, having to fear that forehand attack of Seo. And also having trouble reading the serve. Once again, the element of surprise. If you only have one pitch, It's tough to keep the batter guessing. So in this case, the defense combined with the offense of Seo, Feng Tianwei is in a really tough spot. Oh, and that is the shot to finish it. Seo is human after all. All those shots, heavy chops deep on the table. A few of those look like there's no way they should have come back. And then a little bit of a miss hit, you can see a reaction right away. Don't forget you can hit us up on Twitter at ITTF World and on Instagram at ITTF World, youtube.com/ITTF channel. That was a funky shot. Bounced on her own side of the table, seemed like a miss hit. Don't be shy, send us your questions, any interesting facts you might have. We'd love to address your needs, concerns, and keep you involved at home. Feng Tianwei after the timeout, taking 2 points. That's 3 in a row since the timeout for Feng Tianwei. You could hear her vocally showing her excitement. Sounded like the crowd was cheering for Feng Tianwei. And what an unusual sequence. 2 forehand attacks. The first one hard, the next one a soft change of pace. We don't see that from a defensive player very often. And then one more hard attack to finish the point. And what a combination, a ball so deep it almost crawled off the table, could have caught the edge, followed by a ball bouncing right up near the net, forcing Feng Tianwei to make some very uncomfortable choices, moving in and out.
Stop, please.
Usually it's the attacker who's moving the chopper in and out. You can see a little shimmy there, keeping the shoulders loose, rolling it out. Oh, a lucky break off the edge of the table. The last time we saw Feng Tianwei use that serve, didn't work out too well for her. No one could have predicted this. Just barely nicking the edge. And now the lead has gone back. 4 points in a row for Seo Hyowon. Oh, but that first backhand, though, on 1 foot, getting it back in and starting a marathon rally. And Seo has earned herself 2 game points after being down 5-8. What a run. And the heavy chop does it. Timeout has been used and to no avail. Seo has won 11-8, 3 games to 0, and we'll be back with game 4, where the top seed has her back against the ropes just after this.
After go back to so late, so I call time play and then
first game. Hyowon from Korea to serve. Love all.
Seo with the serve to start off game 4.
1 love.
And a quick start with a short point. She's up 3-0 and has scored 35 points, now 36, where Feng Tianwei has only scored 22 after that 11-3 win in game 2. And that comeback in the last game, she should be in a great confident position.
Love 2.
And you can see the confusion and disappointment on Feng's face, shaking her head, hands out. Why? What's happening? Seo going through the motions again, keeping her cool. Little break off the edge of the table to put Feng on the board, 1-2. Another break off the top of the net, but it was a clean shot that finished it out wide. It looked like Seo couldn't make up her mind, decided maybe beforehand that she was going to take a swat at it. A little bit off balance and out of reach. Maybe an easier ball to chop, hitting the ball low there. Beautiful play, variation of placement on the table along with the spin. Seo's stroke, every once in a while she'll hold it out, almost like she's posing for a picture, but then other shots you'll see she's quickly getting right back in, finishing her shot, circling through. An outstanding recovery off the top of the net, but it's the follow-up ball. Feng Tianwei puts it away. 3 points in a row for, well, we're back at 3-3 either way, tied up. Once again, Feng Tianwei is the top seed in this tournament, and she is losing 0 games to 3. This could be the upset of the tournament. A bit of a miss hit by Feng Tianwei as the ball goes wide by about a foot. Quite fascinating, Seo's balance. Sometimes she seems off balance and it just seems to make the ball more difficult for the opponent. Left a little bit too high and Feng Tianwei is able to crack through it to tie it up at 4 points each. That one was just out of reach. We've seen her get shots like that back. Maybe she had time for one more step, but excellent placement. Feng Tianwei keeping it nice and low, spinning it out wide to the forehand. Excellent placement. Feng Tianwei working the angles, playing the corners, running around the chopper. That's the way to do it. Pretty classic strategy. If you can't bring them in and out of the table, which is common to try and do, playing the corners, occasionally jamming them right to the middle. Short side of the table, a lot less room for air. Ball looks high, but it's loaded with spin. And the tables are great here. I believe double fish tables with double happiness balls. There's not any sliding going on, so these chops stay nice and close to the net. Outstanding point. Thrilling counterattack from Seo right off the smash there. Bringing it back into play and then getting back into her defensive game. Even up 3-0, you cannot get too comfortable. A 2-point lead for Feng Tianwei. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness! What a casual shot to put it away. Feng Tianwei steps around for that shot, the forehand from the backhand corner, and then Hyowon, almost like, I don't even need to do anything. Just touched it and pulled back and watched it sail cross court to win the point. That is swag right there. Seo swag. And Feng Tianwei does it right back. Casual flip over the table, redirecting the ball out wide to the forehand side. Boink. No chance. These players are getting very clever. It's a tight match, 2-point game. Feng got to hold on to the lead. And a mishit. The ferocious forehand of Seo catching the edge of the racket and sailing out. Gotta stay loose. You can see her going through the motions. No tightening up. And Feng Tianwei is getting her groove back. The touch shot up close, and she now has 4 game points to put a game on the board. And what a recovery from near the ground, and almost another one with the backhand, but Feng Tianwei puts the nail in the coffin for this game. It's 11-6. And now 1-3 for Feng Tianwei. Game 5 just after this. And the players come back to the table for Game 5, where Feng Tianwei, the top seed in the tournament, has taken her first game out of 4 played against Seo Hyowon, 2013 Korea Open champion. Heavy underspin, ball goes under the net. That is rare that we will see Feng Tianwei loop it into the very bottom of the net. And the heavy chop from the forehand side. Feng Tianwei 2 points in a row, not able to lift that ball. You have to wonder if that's a mechanical reaction. When Seo chops the ball and maybe thinks it's going into the net, stomps her feet as if it's a recovery reaction. Could be distracting to the opponent, but doesn't seem to be the intention. And a clever last-minute adjustment for that forehand topspin shot. Looked like she was going to chop and just sort of hit it back. But Feng takes the point. And the forehand attack of Seo brings up an interesting question. Someone once wrote on a forum that I read fairly recently. If the expedite rule gives the advantage to the attacking player, why wouldn't an attacker simply push the ball back to force the expedite rule and take the chopper out of her comfort zone? In this case, it might not be so clear-cut who's winning the points when Seo is attacking. But then again, maybe it's because she's selective about when she does it. So maybe it would be to Feng Tianwei's advantage to force the expedite rule. Let us know your thoughts on that. Hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at ITTF World. And the floating chop, not enough spin on it. Feng Tianwei lifting too much. Still pretty early in the game, but Seo's making her move. Second serve, and she's up 5-2. And again, the serve completely fooling Feng Tianwei, popping it up. But because the aggression is on the forehand side for Seo, she played it patiently and still managed to take the point. Break off the top of the net, and Seo turns away as she knows that ball's going out. Feng Tianwei, strong placement, loop right into the body. Beautiful drop by Feng Tianwei, leaving Seo right up near the table for that ball. Had to get it right before the bounce. Timeout has been called. So, right near the table. And that last ball needs to finish this match. Coach thinks it's time. It's now or never. Very difficult to get Seo in a position where her body is actually in the way of the ball. Her profession is dodging the ball and chopping it back. She does this for a living full time. And that's timeout. All lifelines gone for Seo. Time has been called, does not seem to be responding. Sometimes in these big arenas with the music, it's a little bit difficult for the players to hear. I have to say I've seen many a tournament, and this tournament is stunning. Just beautiful. The lighting, the arena. Thailand has done it right. And that shot a little bit anxious Of course, if you're in Feng Tianwei's position, you see a high ball, you got to take advantage before the window of opportunity is closed. It's not easy with So's spin. And since the timeout, it's been 2 straight points for So. Feng Tianwei, Jiao. Crowd supporting the Singaporean top seed. And that's an unusual situation. Rare that the spin variation again is fooling So. And again, from where I'm sitting, it looked like a little bit of a lighting change in the court. Does not seem to bother the players. Very focused. And So had a good look at that forehand. Ball left a little bit high. And this time, Feng Tianwei played the chopper and loaded that with underspin. Standing up a bit straight for that shot, So just long. It's rare that we see her have that sort of body language on a shot. I think she was a bit surprised at where the ball kicked out to. See her stomping her foot, not happy with the way she did that, and now there's a very different body at the table. Deep heavy chop followed by the floater. The best choppers all have them. Same motion, less spin. Seemed like there was a service toss warning from the umpire. So 2 points away from winning it. And the heavy chop deep on the table. It's 2 match points for Hyowon. Feng Tianwei has her back against the ropes more than ever before this match. This is the first match point she's been battling. And the fancy serve, the kicking backhand. It is the biggest upset of the tournament. So Hyowon has beaten Feng Tianwei 4-1. What a match. The chopper will be advancing, and that is a delight for all our viewers at home and in the stadium here, because a chopping game is just beautiful to watch. Stick around for the second women's singles quarterfinals following this.